Hello and welcome to English EchoLingo. I'm Mike, and I am so glad you decided to tune in today. Whether you are commuting, doing chores, or simply relaxing with a cup of coffee, I want to invite you to take a deep breath and settle in. Today, we are going to explore a topic that touches the very heart of the language learning journey. It is a challenge that almost every student face, yet very few talk about in depth. I am talking about the invisible wall that stands between knowing English and actually speaking English. You see, many of you have spent years studying. You know the grammar rules. You have memorized hundreds, maybe thousands of vocabulary words. You can read an article or watch a movie and understand most of it. But the moment you need to open your mouth to speak to a real person, your heart starts to race. Your mind goes blank. Why does this happen? Is it because your English isn't good enough? No, that is rarely the case. The real obstacle is not a lack of knowledge. It is a lack of psychological safety. We are afraid of being judged. We are afraid of making a mistake and looking foolish. We worry that the person we are talking to will become impatient or bored. This psychological pressure creates a barrier that prevents your brain from accessing the English you have worked so hard to learn. But imagine, for a moment, a world where that pressure simply doesn't exist. Imagine having a conversation partner who is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A partner who never gets tired, never judges you, and speaks perfect English at exactly the speed you need. Today, I want to show you how to turn that imagination into reality. Using a tool that is likely already in your pocket, ChatGPT. We often think of artificial intelligence as a cold, robotic piece of software meant for writing emails or coding. But if you are a language learner, I want you to shift your perspective. I want you to stop seeing ChatGPT as a tool and start seeing it as a mirror that reflects your thoughts and allows you to practice your output without the fear of social consequences. This is a paradigm shift. We are moving away from the classroom model of learning and into a safe space model of immersion. To begin this journey, we must first understand how to use the interface to our maximum advantage. While many people use ChatGPT by typing on a keyboard, the real magic for a language learner happens when you use the voice mode on your smartphone. When you engage in a verbal conversation, you are forcing your brain to retrieve information in real time. This is what builds fluency. It is not about being perfect, it is about reducing the time it takes for a thought in your head to become a sound in the air. When you start your session, don't just say, "Hello." You have the power to customize your partner. You can tell the AI exactly what you need. For example, you might say, "Mike here. I want to practice my English speaking. Today, I want you to be a supportive friend. Please speak at a moderate pace, and if I say something that sounds unnatural, let me know, but keep the conversation flowing." By doing this, you have created a bespoke learning environment. You have removed the unpredictability of a human conversation partner who might speak too fast or use slang you don't understand. One of the most powerful strategies you can use is what I call the feedback loop. Most learners are afraid to ask for help during a conversation because they don't want to interrupt the rhythm. But with an AI, you can stop at any time. If you struggle to find a word, you can say, "How do I say, 'I'm overwhelmed with work,' in a more casual way?" The AI will give you 3 or 4 options instantly. You can then repeat those phrases back, testing the sounds in your mouth until they feel comfortable. This is how you bridge the gap between passive knowledge and active usage. Now, let's talk about the content of your practice. A common mistake is trying to talk about things that don't matter to you. If you talk about global economics, just because it feels academic, you will likely get bored and quit. Instead, the secret to staying engaged is to make the conversation deeply personal. Talk about your real life. Talk about the burnt toast you had for breakfast, the annoying coworker who interrupted your meeting, or the dream you have for your next vacation. When the topic is real to you, your brain is more motivated to find the right words. You are not just practicing English. You are expressing your identity in a new language. Let's look at some specific scenarios. Imagine you are preparing for a trip. You can tell ChatGPT, pretend you are a flight attendant, and I am a passenger who has lost my luggage. Let's role play the conversation. This allows you to practice survival English in a high-stakes scenario, but with zero actual risk. You can fail. You can forget the word for suitcase. You can restart the conversation 10 times until you feel confident. This is immersion without the anxiety. Or perhaps you want to practice social English. You could say, let's pretend we are meeting at a wedding for the first time. You are the groom's cousin. Start the conversation with some small talk. This helps you master the art of the opening and the follow-up question, the 2 pillars of social fluency. By practicing these scripts in a safe environment, you are building muscle memory for your brain. When you finally encounter a similar situation in real life, your brain won't have to work as hard because it has already lived that conversation dozens of times with the AI. However, the most important part of this entire process is not the intensity of the practice, but the consistency. This is where many learners fail. They try to practice for 2 hours on a Sunday and then do nothing for the rest of the week. Language is a living thing, it needs to be fed every day. I recommend the 5-minute morning chat. Before you check your emails or social media, open ChatGPT and talk for just 5 minutes. Tell it how you slept. Tell it what your main goal is for the day. Ask it for one new idiom you can try to use. These 5 minutes act as a warm-up for your brain, switching your internal gears into English mode. Over time, these short daily bursts of practice create a massive cumulative effect. You will notice that you stop translating from your native language in your head. You will find that certain phrases come to you automatically. This is because you have created a habit of output. You have turned English from a subject you study into a tool you use. I want to leave you with one final thought. In the world of language learning, mistakes are often viewed as failures. But I want you to change that definition. Every time you make a mistake and the AI corrects you, or every time you struggle to find a word and eventually find it, your brain is growing. Those gaps in your knowledge are actually opportunities for the strongest connections to be made. When you talk to an AI, you can afford to be messy. You can afford to be imperfect. And in that imperfection, you will find your true voice. So, your challenge for today is simple. Download the app if you haven't already. Find a quiet corner and just start talking. Don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about the accent. Just focus on the connection. You have the world's most patient teacher waiting for you. Thank you for spending this time with me on English EchoLingo. It has been a pleasure to share these thoughts with you. Remember, the path to fluency is not a sprint, it is a series of small, confident steps taken every single day. Keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep believing in your ability to express who you are. This is Mike, signing off. I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, take care and keep speaking.